Welcome to Spirit River Podcast. My guest today is Raeann Phillips, singer-songwriter. Raeann Phillips is an American singer and songwriter who once heard is not easily forgotten. She has been working in the entertainment business for over 20 years and brings a professional, easygoing, inclusive energy to every performance. It is not unusual for an evening or afternoon of music to end with the entire crowd singing along to a classic favorite feel-good song. Her passion is to bring joy, laughter, and healing to the audience through music. Having performed many private functions, weddings, public venues over the years, she uses her experience to read a crowd and is happy to accommodate audience requests. She spent 10 years as a lead singer for the top 40 dance band, Raeann Groove, working Northwest Washington casino circuit and nightclubs. The band had the thrill of opening for such popular artists as Joan Jett, Loverboy, Three Dog Night, and the Spinners. Welcome, Raeann. So
Hello.
good to see you.
So good to see you.
So the other day we walked into the Louis River Golf Course. And hold on, let me put myself back a little bit. Chirp. I can edit this out because you're too far away and I'm dominating the screen.
Oh,
There you
sorry.
go. Yeah. So the other day we walked into the Louis River Golf Course and you were playing. Surprise, surprise. I hadn't seen you in a few years and I was just so pleased to see you. And you were so kind to come over to our table and to let me know, which really touched my heart, how my book changed your life. And so
Yeah,
I thought we could open up the conversation talking about what we were talking about and
yeah,
what exactly happened.
yeah. Well, um, there was a part in your book that where you lost your mother when you were a teenager,
Mhm.
and um, when I was reading that book, it was when my daughter was a teenager going through the teenage things, between a mother and a daughter, and I don't know. I just realized I can't remember exactly what it was in the book, but it was I made sure to go to my daughter and tell her about the parts that I know that I made a mistake in raising her, and um, I apologize for things that I wish I could have changed so far in raising her, and that I didn't want to just always be like I'm your mom and I'm telling you what to do and I'm in charge. I wanted to. It just really made me realize I need to come to her and tell her I'm your mom and I'm also just a person who I know hurts you and you have the right to your feelings. And I just saw so many times that I had unintentionally trying to be a strong mom, um, probably really hurt her. and
Were you a single mom?
yes, yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Well, that's a lot of pressure because I was a single mom. And it
yeah,
is to play all of those roles without having a buffer. It's really difficult.
yeah. Oh, and I remember exactly what it was. Okay, now I'm really understanding. I'm remembering. Um, my mother passed away when I was 28, and my daughter was just 4 years old at that time. And feeling the loss of my mother at 28 years old was devastating to me. I realized what a cold world it is without your mother in it. If my mother was a really great, um, she was my ace in the hole.
Yeah.
And I, but Sydney was so young at that time. I just was thinking about my grief from losing my mother. And I got this thought in my head. I want her to be just fine if I died tomorrow. I need to make her tough. And I think I went too far in being like making her independent and self-sufficient without giving her enough nurturing like my mother gave me. So
Mm.
I just got to tell her that I I realized I should have nurtured her more, and I did start being more nurturing to her rather than life is tough. You gotta you gotta be able to get by on your own, and it 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 helped me change the narrative for the next, well, from that day until now, and she
Mm.
really appreciated me recognizing that I had been really raising her as if I was already gone, if that makes sense. Like
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
be just fine if I if something happened to me, you'll be able to get by because I raised you to be tough. And my mother was so wonderful, and she was so nurturing, and I just uh, kind of fell apart when she passed away because I she kind of would be there for every single little thing to try to save me from life, if that
Mm.
makes sense. So
Yeah.
it was that part of the movie, or the book, that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm my daughter's mother, and she needs my nurturing, you
Mm.
know, not just me to raise her to be strong. She also needs my tenderness and care.
Well,
So,
thank you for mentioning that to me at the golf course when we listened to your music. So I wanted to bring you on because first of all, you have an amazing energy. And I just love your music, and I can listen to you for days and days and days and every day. And you
oh,
make me happy. And your
aw,
songs make people happy. And it is true what I read that people do sing-alongs with you. And I wanted to find out a little bit about your life growing up and how you got into music and all of the above.
yeah. Well, I think music was always just a real big part of my life growing up. My mom loved, she would always be playing music, like Patsy Cline and um, Roy Orbison. Those were two big ones. And a lot of my memories are there were six kids in our family. So, we didn't really have the budget to like go to Disneyland in the summertime. So my mom would like put us all in this big blue Plymouth van and take us out looking for Bigfoot out on the logging roads. And we'd listen to Patsy Cline. And I just remember being in the back seat, looking out the window in the middle of the forest and just singing along to Patsy Cline. And I would take every breath that Patsy Cline took and just try to sing like Patsy Cline sang. And I kind of joke that's kind of like what my voice lessons were. I would just try to exactly sing along to Patsy Cline. And yeah. So, and yeah, music was always on in our house. And um, in my nucleus of my family, I I was the only one that kind of came out to be a musician, but my sister played the violin and my brother is a really great drummer. But I have some cousins in Montana that were older than me and they played the guitar and sang, and I idolized them. I wanted to play the guitar and sing like them. So they inspired me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm the second to the youngest. I have a little brother who's 2 years younger than me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool. So you live in the state of Washington
Mm-hmm.
or Oregon? Do you live in Oregon? No, I can't remember.
Washington. It's in
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so you used to play a lot of casinos, right?
yeah. For a long time, I was in a band, and that was, yeah, we were working all the casino circuits for a while. Yeah,
So I bet you played at Seven Feathers Casino in
I
Canyonville.
did. In Spain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I used to live in Roseburg and we would sometimes go to concerts at the Seven Feathers Casino. So,
Oh, yeah. I
yeah.
have played there. That's
Mhm.
funny.
So, what prompted you to actually become a professional musician, and at what age? When did all this take place?
Honestly, I don't think I ever just said I'm going to be a professional musician.
Huh.
It just sort of unfolded, and it just is what I ended up doing. I don't know how to explain it. When I was 18, I did this. There was like a little concert, or not a concert, a contest at the local music store. And if you won, you got like 2 hours of recording time or something. But the guy that was putting on the contest was also one of the first people I played in a band with. And so that's where he found me. I won that little contest, and then he invited me to be in his band. And so I learned how to make a living from him because he'd been working in a band. He was like 25 years older, maybe 30 years older. And I just learned the ropes kind of by accident. I was like, sure, I want to be in your band. And then I was in a band that was making money. And so right out the gate, I realized that, there's so many times that people are always like, musicians are starving artists, but I I really didn't uh, agree with that narrative because I started working with people that were musicians that were making money right out the gate, and so I'm glad that I went with that option instead of just the belief that if you're a musician, you're going to not be able to make money and it's going to be hard. But so it kind of was just the unfolding of my life, really. I didn't make a certain choice that I'm going to be a musician.
That's incredible because, first of all, you didn't really, sit in your living room one day and say, I think I want to be a musician. It just sort of fell into your lap. And
Yeah.
then I laugh because you know that I interview a lot of people on near-death experiences and spiritual people and mediums. Like today at 4:30, I have another interview with Trisha Michael, who channels Archangel Raphael. And we talk
Oh,
a lot about the law of attraction, and whatever you're emanating, whatever you are vibrating, whatever frequency you have is what attracts toward you what you're manifesting in your life. So if you don't even think about money or I want to be a musician and make money, you didn't have that thought. It was just a natural immersion for you. And and,
yeah.
and I love that. And you do realize how rare that is.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I live in my little world, just plunking along. I haven't thought much about it, if that makes sense. But
So when you sing, do you feel like you're remembering something ancient? Do you think that you were a musician before this lifetime?
I'm I'm not sure about that, but what I do feel when I'm writing a song is that I'm not writing it, I'm learning it. Like it's coming into me and I have to sit down and I have to write it out because if I don't stop right then and let it come out, then it will be gone forever. But my
Mm.
songs usually, I don't usually sit down and say, I want to write a song. Usually I'll be doing something and I'll be like, oh no, I really need to be mowing the yard, but a song is coming in right now. And so that I will like have to, sometimes I choose to just keep mowing the lawn, but sometimes I go, nope, you have to, you got to stop what you're doing and go sit down and let it come out. And um, I don't know, it's it's more like I'm remembering something, or something, I'm learning something that, like, I always, it feels like I'm just reciting something that's coming through me. And I don't know how to explain it, but
So it's like channeling. I feel like that too with writing. Like if a
yeah,
story comes in or something, a chapter of a book or, certain
yeah,
sentence that needs to get into a book, I have to stop everything I'm doing and I have to sit down. Otherwise, just like you just said, it's lost forever.
it's
And I
lost.
won't remember it. And I kick myself that I
Yeah,
didn't write it down.
yeah. And it will usually still be about something that is personal to my life, but it will be like, it just needs to come out, if that makes sense. Like, when I first started writing songs, I would just have to write them down, in my little notebook or whatever. But now you can just, press record on your iPhone and let it come out, and then listen to it. And there's so many times I would write a song, and then I'd listen to it later and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that is how I felt inside, but that is how I feel. It was like, it's like processing emotions. Because I don't think I'm very good at just black and white words of saying like, I feel like this, but I can, if I can hide behind a metaphor or a little bit of poetry behind the music to get out my feelings, I feel safer expressing what I have to say that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful because so many people have a hard time just sitting down and talking about their feelings. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they do therapy with children, where they have them draw pictures and
Yeah,
then the story comes out through the pictures, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And I feel like my father and I are similar in that way of like, sometimes I'm really chatty, but most of the times I'm pretty sort of a quiet person. And my dad is like that too. He's very quiet, but when we get together, we listen to a lot of music together and share. And we say words too, a lot of words, but that's how we share to each other what's going on in our life and how we feel, is through the songs. I'll share a song with him and you're like, oh, and have you heard this song? And then it starts up a conversation about things that we probably wouldn't talk about otherwise. And
mhm.
I feel like it helps us connect. And yeah, when you're, when just plain words seem too scary to just say, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, listen, let's have a conversation, Dad. Let's sit down.
Right, right,
No,
right,
let's
right.
listen to a Patsy Cline song and then talk about it.
Yeah. Or not talk about it. It just like unfolds. It's actually, I have this memory of I I was driving with my dad, and we were listening to Bridge Over Troubled Water came on, and we both just got quiet and we were just like listening to it. It was so beautiful. The sun was like setting and we were on the freeway, and um it was just a beautiful moment. And I wanted to say that part in the song where it says, sail on silver girl, sail on by, your dreams are on their way, or whatever. That's like my favorite part of the song. And I was just about I wanted to say, Dad, this is my favorite part of the song coming up, but I didn't want to interrupt the song. And right as that part came on, he goes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to tell you, this is my favorite part of the song.
Oh,
And he told me a memory when he was in Vietnam that he worked on the helicopters, and he was out on the tarmac one day walking to go out into a helicopter, and the song Bridge Over Troubled Water was playing, and there was an airplane that they called the Freedom Bird that would fly over, and usually those were the fallen soldiers going back home. And he said, and when that would happen, everybody would stop whatever they were doing and just, give a moment of silence and pay their respects to the fallen soldiers. And that was the line that was playing when that plane flew over. So it was like a special part. It was a special part of the song for him. And I always loved that part of the song too.
that's incredible that he stopped right there.
Yeah. And
So, what do you hope people feel after spending an evening with your music? What do you like? What makes you happy when you're sitting at the Lewis River Golf Course and we're all clapping, but most of us are chatting away with other people?
I love that. I love that because what I do, what I think the reason why I sing the most is I'm actually really scared of being in front of people and singing. Um, but I learned when I was a little girl that it seems like it makes people happy when I sing. So I would sing because that would seems like people would smile and be happy when I sang. And so when my favorite thing in the world is to look out in the audience and see everybody enjoying each other's company and um, forgetting about their worries for a while. And I know when I'm performing, I I don't want to be everybody stop and watch me sing. I I'm just one little tiny part of the whole entire equation. I'm just a small thing to add to
Mhm.
watching people enjoy life, eating good food, laughing with their friends. Maybe I'll sing a song that reminds them of a happy memory. And so, yeah, it really makes me happy when I look out and see everybody just smiling and commiserating and enjoying their night. Because, you know, life can get so serious sometimes, and we can forget that we're all just here to have fun. have a, you know, it
I
doesn't
think
have
I
to be
think I think
perfect.
you're very good at having fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now you love horses, don't you?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about that. And plus, aren't you living on a farm or I think I remember talking with you about having animals of some sort.
Yeah. I, I, yes, I do. It's not like a working farm, but I have like 10 acres and horses and chickens and a couple cats. And it used to be a dairy farm many years ago. But yeah, uh, I have live out sort of in the country. Um, and it used to be all farmland, but yeah, I, and I do, it was my, when I, well, this is kind of a cool story. I always wanted horses growing up, but that wasn't really possible growing up. But then when I got older, my mother actually was able to get a horse that she loved, and she raised the horse from a little baby colt. And when she passed away, one of the first things she said to me when we knew she was going to be passing away is she wanted me to take care of Levi. And I was, of course, I will take care of Levi, her horse. But it was kind of interesting because it was like, oh man, it would have been easier to have a horse when I was a little girl. In that moment, I was like a single mom living in an apartment. Now taking care of a horse will be um, much more trickier for me, because I have to find a place to board it and things like that. But the point of my story is I found a place to board the horse, and it was past where my house is now. And when we would be driving to the stables, I'd say to my daughter, Sydney, someday we're going to live in that house. It was like my dream house, the house that I have now. But I didn't think it would really happen. And then like 2 years later, I was able to buy the house and then able to bring the horse and have his own pasture. And so it's kind of a long, convoluted story, but it was just funny how life goes. I ended up being able to buy this and working hard to be able to buy this because of the horse that my mother gave me, and because it's like he's like a family to me.
It's almost like your mother knew before she passed away that this horse would be the catalyst for you to really wish for this house, and you drove by it because something similar happened to me too, where I was standing across the river looking at a certain house, and 2 years later I was in that exact house. And
Wow.
it's kind of trippy, isn't it, when those things happen? It was like, how did I manifest that? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Honestly, I do think that and I've learned though, in some ways, I go, sometimes I get scared, not really scared, but I'm like, because sometimes it manifests in ways that you wouldn't imagine. Like you just want the happy thing, but you might have had to go through a really big obstacle to end up at that place, if that makes sense. Like a small,
Mhm.
tiny little thing is, so I bought the original house that was built in 1903, and I loved everything about it. It's so charming. Everybody else would come and look and go, "Oh my gosh, this is probably a money pit." But I was like, "I love this house. It doesn't have to be perfect." And but I remember I just got this tiny little thought in my head, and the bathroom upstairs was really small, and I was like, I would just love to have a clawfoot tub and look out the window and see the moon upstairs in this bathroom. And then I forgot about wishing for that. And a couple years later, the house actually burned down to the ground. And that was
Oh
really,
God.
um, a hard experience.
Mhm.
But then I rebuilt the house, and I ended up making a bathroom that had a clawfoot tub in the window. And I kind of forgot that I wished for that. And then one day I was like, oh my goodness, I got this. I got the clawfoot tub in the window in the upstairs bathroom, but the whole house burnt down for that to happen, if that makes sense.
How did the house burn down?
Um, I was doing Airbnb, and I rented a room to somebody who flicked their cigarette butt off the front porch.
Oh
I was The interesting thing was too, I was not even in the state when that happened. I was in the middle of Wyoming, and I remember it was the middle of the night, and I was camping next to this beautiful like powerful, rocky, tumbling river, it has all the rapids and stuff. But in the middle of the night, I woke up straight out of bed and I was like, I couldn't go back to sleep. And I had this overwhelming sadness. And I just couldn't shake it. And um, long story short, I couldn't shake it the whole next day. I didn't know why I was sad. And then some people had gone into town to get provisions for the camp because we were like out of cell range. And I wanted to stay back at camp, which was not normal for me either. I normally wanted to go into town where there's, ice cold beer and ice cream and, like what I always wanted to go into town, but I was like, I feel too sad. I just want to sit here by the river. And anyways, they went into town and then they came back and had gotten all these messages that my house had burned down the night before. And then I realized my house was burning down exactly the moment that I woke up in Wyoming, and I couldn't shake this like deep, deep sadness inside of me, and that I had no explanation for until they came back and they gotten messages, people trying to get a hold of me. And so it's just funny how life works. Because it was really, 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 really sad. Nobody got hurt
you
when the house burned.
probably you had your music in there, your piano, your guitars, your everything, all your pictures and all the things that are usually in a home, all those
Yeah,
keepsakes that are
yeah,
now suddenly gone. We had a fire here at our house, our garage burned down, and
yeah,
it went so fast, and there were so many things that I didn't really realize how much stuff was in there.
yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
assuming Airbnb paid for it. I hope they did.
Um, no, but I had homeowners, so it
Yeah,
worked
it
out.
worked. Yeah.
But it was funny. I did end up writing a song about my guitar. His name was Frankie. Well, his
The
full name was
guitar.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had been broken so many times, but he'd been through everything with me in my life up until that moment. And he looked like he had scars on him. One person accidentally came on my stage once and it broke the neck of the guitar, but I got it fixed. And there was it really did look like he was all kind of stitched together. He was not in, he didn't look perfect for sure. Um, and the night I was leaving to go camping, I looked back and I saw him sitting in the corner, and there was something inside of me that was like, take Frankie with you. But then I said, no, he might get hurt or broken on the camping trip, and there's not very much room in the car, anyways. So I left him there, and then that was the last time I saw him. And so I actually like wrote a song about that, about literally, I felt like he was saying, take me with you, and I didn't take him. And then he was gone when I got back.
Oh
But
my gosh, that must have been a very tough time for you.
it really was, because it's tricky. I think so many, the community was amazing. Like, everybody came together and was giving us so much love, and I felt sort of guilty a little bit because we got so much support and love, because the the bad experience was so big, and like, it's a fire, you can really see it externally. And then I realized, but there's so many people going through hard things that you can't see it on the outside, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
was grateful for all the help, but I also felt a little guilty to get so much love and help because there's so many people hurting on the inside. You never even will know what they're going through, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
And
always say, you just never know what's going on with someone. Just always smile at people because it could be just that one smile that changes their day or their week. It's like I see
yeah,
those old ladies at the supermarket, and I know that they only come maybe perhaps out of the house once a week. And it's
yeah,
really arduous. It's really difficult for them to go there. And yeah, we all need to practice more kindness and more patience and more gratitude, don't we?
yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that so much. Like when I'm driving, if somebody's like going really slow in front of me, I never get mad. Or I drive with some people, not anymore, but in my earlier life I would hang around with people that we weren't on the same vibe, and you see somebody drive and they always get so mad if somebody's going slow in front of them. And I don't know why, but every time if somebody's going slow in front of me, I think maybe maybe they just lost their child, or maybe they had a hard day at work and there's a lot on their mind. And um I just, yeah, you never know what somebody's going through
Mm-hmm.
is one of my story. And but also, after getting past the house fire and rebuilding, there was something actually really liberating about losing almost every single thing you have except for whatever you were wearing, when the house burned down. And it was actually a very liberating experience to
Mm-hmm.
be like, well, all that stuff is gone now. And um, it was freeing, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I've heard this from a lot of people that have lost their homes, or I had a friend who lives now in Florida, and she had her entire house was being moved by a mover, but the mover never arrived. So they made a business out of taking people's belongings and selling them.
Oh,
And later the FBI got him, so it was all good. And she was one of the main witnesses because they had done this for a decade and stolen millions of dollars worth of people's stuff. And all she had was her flip-flops and a skirt and a t-shirt to arrive in Florida on the plane. And the movers were supposed to arrive 4 hours later. So that's how she timed it. So all of her antiques, everything she had, all the memorabilia from her grandmother and, her life growing up was gone. But later she said that it was the most liberating thing to let go of all these items that she was just hanging on to them, and they were it was a freeing, just like you said, it was a freeing moment for her to start from scratch like that and let go. I mean, we
yeah,
come naked and we leave naked, right? So
right. Yeah.
you
And it
can't
helped
take it
me.
with you.
Yeah. It, it, it really did help me because at that time I was working part time doing a job that there was a time in my life where I always felt like people, if I'd be at a cocktail party or something and they say, "What do you do for a living?" And if I said I'm a musician, they'd be like, "Oh, that's nice, sweetie, but how do you actually, like they, I always feel, and that was when I was a lot younger, but I always felt like I wanted to have something more cool to say that I did as a living, that I made me more of a grown up or more respectable or something. And so I started working, and it wasn't even that much. I was just working in an attorney's office as a paralegal, but I felt like that if I identify myself that way, then I might get more respect when I would tell people what I did for a living. But I loved who I worked for at that job, but I did not like. that job. Like nobody goes to see an attorney who's in a happy place, you know? So
You know they have a bad reputation.
like so but I knew that that job really wasn't being true to myself, but I was still doing it. It was making me very not happy inside. And but when the house burned down, I was like, you could lose everything you've ever worked for in like literally 2 hours, you know, just literally goes up in flames.
Mhm.
I and I decided in that moment, I'm not ever gonna do I'm gonna find a way to never have to do something that I don't want to do
Mhm.
um, for a living, you know,
Mhm.
again. And and the funniest thing is music always was what carried me. Like I actually always made more money doing music, but I felt more like I got more respect if I told people that I was a paralegal. And that was just being a young person who was caught up with identity. But now I'm just like, I am what I am, you
I
know?
am a musician and I'm proud of it. I think the times have changed a lot. I mean, now when you say you're a musician, wow, you're a musician. Ooh, holy. In the future, in the next 100 years, when we have resolved the issue around energy, and hopefully that's all going to be squared away and there's no hunger on the planet. That's what I see for the planet. And then what are we going to do with our time? Paint, recite poetry, and make music.
Have fun. Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I'm in the past, uh, I'd say 3 years. I've definitely had a really big shift in my paradigm, and I I really do think there's nothing wrong with waking up every day and going outside and playing, enjoy life, go, you know, brush the horses, and uh, I just really bought into that narrative of you're supposed to do a job you don't like until you retire, and then you get to live for a lot of my life. But
Mhm.
I feel like I broke through that, and I don't feel like that anymore.
Mhm.
And but
Mhm.
now I have actually the privilege of going like, well, what's my motivation now? Like I used to be trying to prove myself and my worth to people, and I have no desire to do that anymore. you know, I and uh, it's a good place to be, I think. But it also is. I'm realizing it was easier when I get up and go to a job and I somebody told me what I had to do every day. It wasn't easier. It was just more familiar. It was like more of the script of the story of life that I had read or I grew up with. And but I don't buy into that anymore.
Yeah, I grew up with that same paradigm.
Yeah.
Exactly. You always have to work, 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 and then you get to take a vacation, and then you work, 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 work. And then you get to take the vacation, enjoy yourself for a minute or two. And I
Yeah.
I have a different lifestyle now where every day is a day of creating new things and creating books or creating stories or interviewing people like you, lovely person. and yeah, even down to being in your clawfoot tub and looking out the window to see the moon,
Yeah.
and you're in there and you're there for an hour or something. I had to learn to really slow down and just bring it back and enjoy the moment and bringing the now. I don't know if you ever read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, but he talks about, living in the present moment, being in the now. And it's not easy for people because we're either racing into the future or we're thinking about the past. And so
Hmm.
much time is wasted. And we have
Yeah.
about 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are useless or repetitive.
Yeah. Well, I think. I don't know if I told you this, but um, something that really helped me, and I didn't even mean to do it on purpose, but there was a couple years ago, um, my partner and I broke up, and I was really devastated and sad, and I had all this time in the day, and I just started walking around. It's like a loop where I live. It's called Willow Grove, and it's like a 6 mile loop along the Columbia River. And um, I just would get up every day and I started listening to near death experiences,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I would just listen and walk. And I did that, I think, for almost every day for a year. And I think I accidentally did some sort of therapy on myself, because after listening to all those near death experiences, and a lot of them have similar components of, your life review, and that, there really is no judgment of when you're in wherever place you end up going, everybody has little different variations, but it's all about looking back at your life and seeing what you've learned, and not with regret, even things that are painful. You could just look at them and go, gosh, I wish I did that differently, but I'm not going to hold on to that pain of feeling guilt or regret for what I did. I'm just going to do better next time.
Mhm.
And I kind of, I think I did a year long walking life review session with myself, like thinking about the things. I think the hardest things to handle are the ones where you've hurt somebody else. And I would always rather be the person who got hurt than the one who hurt somebody. I mean, I don't want to get hurt, but you know what I mean. The,
I know what you mean.
the pain, the regret, the little tiny bit of poison that could grow inside of you if you let it, I feel is stronger when you know that you hurt somebody else.
Mhm.
And I did a lot of reflecting, and a lot of it was just thinking, well, whoa, what if I died right now? I wonder what my life review would be like. And um, it was really freeing. Uh, and yeah, that's all.
So, you have a little song for us today in closing.
Yes,
Are you ready to share your music with us?
I am. Um,
Oh, thank you so much.
yeah, thank
That's
you.
very sweet of you. Very sweet.
Yeah. Um, this song is it's called Mama's Still an Angel, and it's a little bit sad. But I usually end up writing sad songs because that's how I am. But it's about my brother who, I don't know. I'll just sing it for you, and
Okay.
hopefully you can hear it. See him walking down, oh, sometime, nowhere to go and no taking I never did say goodbye. Pray to God it won't be cold tonight. It's okay, I'll be alright. But he said it'd be an easy life. I'm still singing on Friday night. Mama's still an angel. He never knew quite what to do. Daddy took her away. I guess the needle must ease the pain. That hot August day, it's okay, I'll be alright. But he said it'd be an easy life. I'm still singing on Friday night. I'm still an angel. He comes knocking on my door sometimes. I pretend that I don't hear. Look out the window, she walks away. Whisper, I love you, brother D. It's okay, you're alright. But he said it'd be an easy life. I started drinking on Friday night. Mama still an angel. Mama still an angel.
Oh,
Sorry, it's kind of sad.
sweet. I don't know how it's gonna pick up the sound, but I
Yeah, it's
can hear
probably,
your voice really well, but not the guitar so much. So maybe I'll put a song of yours on the front of the video at the very beginning. So
yeah,
that'd be kind of cool because
that
I
might be
love
okay.
your voice and I love what you do and I love everything about you. And I'm
No,
so glad you rebuilt your house. So.
me too. I'm sorry I'm still talking about it, but
Oh, it's probably something you're going to talk about till the day you die. So before you have your life review.
before I have my life review, I know I want to see what my life review is going to be like. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to see, but
You
if
know,
it will match up with the life review I made for myself while I'm still alive.
I have an idea, Raeann. I think what we need to do is we need to do a party where we are going to imagine our life review and
Yeah.
everybody has to write it out what your life review is going to be like.
Oh,
I think that'd be really good
a word.
therapy for people.
What was that?
That would be good therapy for people,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
It
know?
really to really be,
Hmm.
you know, think about and but the key part is to not have a judgment like you're bad or good. It just is what it is, you
And
know?
that is exactly the story that I want people to realize is like a party. If you had 8 or 10 people and everyone comes together to write out their life review of how they imagine it without judging others or themselves,
Yeah.
that would be excellent therapy.
Yeah. Like it's
Mhm.
not, it's just come to peace with everything, you know? Uh,
Everything. Hmm.
it's, it's, yeah. Well, our, um, yeah, I think it's kind of like, well, then I was listening to, there's the people that go to do ayahuasca, and it's pretty much the same thing. They're trying to get that experience of a near-death experience without
Exactly.
actually
Yeah.
the happiness
I
to,
think we could achieve it without ayahuasca.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, I just want to thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being you and playing music for all of us to enjoy. And I look forward to seeing you again at the golf course. How do people get a hold of you?
Um, Smoke signals. Good. Just kidding.
Okay.
Send out to the universe, and then maybe we'll connect. No, I don't know. Um, I have a website, raeannphillips.org,
Hmm.
and from there you can email me or have my phone number on there too. Um, and those are my preferred methods of contact. Just yeah, go to the website and then get a hold of me from there.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to seeing you at the golf course again. Are you going to be there anytime soon?
Uh, off the top of my head, I can't think of when I'll be there, but
Okay.
hopefully again soon.
I, I will look it up.
All right.
Thank you for being here, and I wish you a marvelous day. Much love to you, and thank you to my listeners. What an enjoyable conversation with Raeann Phillips, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ciao, ciao. Yay, good job. I had to hurry in the end because it has a timer on it that's going 1 minute and 38 seconds, and I'm on countdown. So I
Oh,
didn't want it to cut off. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna cut off any minute now.
oh,
So, but
well,
I think we're okay. So we have yeah, we just made it exactly. So I guess what I did is when I set up the Zoom call, I set it at 1 hour and I need to set it at an hour and a half to give me that extra buffer, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise it cuts off the recording and then you're in trouble if somebody
uh,
still is if you're in the middle of the interview, you know.
yeah,
So I hope I didn't cut you off too soon.
yeah. No worries. I hope I didn't. I hope it didn't sound like I was having a therapy session with you.
No,
All
not at
right.
all.
Okay.
No, it was brilliant. I was trying to draw it out of you.
Oh yeah. I was like,
I think we got some really good points across, and I really loved that you shared walking for a year, listening to near-death experiences. And I've done this as well, and it is incredible therapy. 'Cause it makes you
yeah,
realize, first of all the incredible things people see, and that we're not alone, and there's no reason to be all upset about stuff.
yeah.
And
It,
you
it
know,
really, yeah.
yeah, and we just carry on with our lives, and we don't take yourself so seriously.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
do you like Abraham Hicks?
I love Abraham. We saw her live not long ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did. Yes. I always remember. I love the way she says it. You can't get it wrong, and you'll never get it done. Like it. So just get up every day and live your life, and
So you
you
know
know.
what? It is at zero. It's showing me zero on the hour clock, but it didn't cut me off. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good
Maybe
to
it just
know.
stopped recording.
I think no, it's still recording, but I think it just shows you that you've reached that hour and that you have to go into wrap up. But
Yeah.
I sometimes do interviews that are longer, but for some reason it was set at from 1 to 2, but I let the video run earlier because we had all these changes
Oh.
with the sound. But
Oh yeah.
it's good. This is great. I love the interview, so thank you.
You're welcome. And I have some recordings on Spotify that I actually have that song recorded. You want me to send you a real
Yes,
recording of it?
yeah, send me the
Okay.
song. And then also I have a live recording of you. You
Oh
probably do you have some live recordings of yourself that I could
yeah.
put up? Like
Uh,
video and sound?
yeah. Let me. I have some, but they're old on my. I'm really bad at that stuff.
Yeah.
I really truly never wanted to be famous. I don't like being recorded or stuff like that. So I'm really bad at the marketing and having videos of myself. Um, but I'll see if I have any.
Well, if you have one in particular that you'd like me to put up, and if you become famous because of it, sorry in advance.
Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't think it would make me famous. I just meant like that is why I would never be a famous person because I get all weird when there's a camera in front of me or like I don't like the attention. I get
Yeah,
weird.
same here. I think people are more afraid of fame than you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm.
just I love my. Sometimes people say to me that, and it's nice. They're like, "You're gonna make it big one day or whatever." But I kind of smile inside, and I feel that because I already feel like I made it. I love my
It-
life
like
already.
what do you mean I'm gonna make it? I'm actually happy exactly where I am.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing is
Yeah.
uh, it's it's always almost expected you're supposed to want to be famous but no, I really have the life that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
congratulations, my love. And yeah, let me know. Spring is around the corner and we'll
yeah,
have the dinner. What's your girlfriend's name?
Lou,
Lou.
Lou.
And do you know Brandy?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'm gonna get those girls.
yeah, she lives in Woodland here, I think, somewhere. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'd love to get you and Lou over here for sure, and have a little dinner party, and hopefully we can sit outside. It was a nasty day today, and now it's sunny.
Oh, did you hear the rain on the roof? It was.
Yeah, and now it's sunny. It's like,
Yeah.
what happened? So anyway, I love you. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon.
See you real soon. Thanks, Petra.
Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.